Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and I often speak about the importance of having a solid foundation when it comes to music theory. However, in today's mini lesson slash thought exercise, we're going to be showing that you don't need to know a whole hell of a lot of it in order to write something that's a little bit more complex and interesting sounding to the listener. And to do so, we're going to be using a song off of this album by Tennis. The album name is Young and Old, and the song we're going to be looking at is the chorus from It All Feels the Same. After the lesson, I'm going to talk about why I love this album, a little bit my history with the band and all that kind of fun stuff, but for the meat and potatoes, let's get into the actual playing part. Right now the guitar is in standard tuning. I'm going to be showing you a few of the more common ways to play this progression, and then we're going to get into the way that it's actually performed on the record and what makes it a little bit interesting. So, chords are a 1, 4, 5, 4 in the key of G. That's G, C, D, C. If you're playing in open tuning, this is what it would sound like. Another way to play it that's pretty common and beginners would do it, and also, depending on if you're using a lot of gain or the genre, would be to use power chords. It would be something like this. That's it. So, all of those will get the job done, and I know there's a billion different effects pedals out there that by themselves could make that sound a whole lot more interesting, but how is it played on the album, and what am I getting at here? You're going to put your first finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, creating the G, which is the root. Your 2nd finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. This is actually the 3rd of G, which is a B. For the second half of the chord, we're actually just going to be playing the same notes stacked on top of that, only on 2 other strings. On D string, you're going to be on the 5th fret, which is also still just a G. And then on the G string, we're going to be on the 4th fret, which is just a B. So that's pretty much it. We're going to be playing it, and then we're going to slide it up to the C. And then we're going to slide it up to the D. That's it. Let's have a listen to that. Now let's compare that with open chords. To me, one sounds much more interesting than the other one, and again, you didn't really need to know too much. And if you're thinking right now to yourself, well, Jim, I didn't know how to get to the C here, and this doesn't make sense, you just kind of skipped that whole part of it. This is where understanding the fretboard comes into play. If you already know that your open string on the 1st string is an E, all you would have to do is count the correct amount of steps to get to here, which is the 8th fret, which is going to be a C. Could be played here too, 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Could also be played on the 5th fret of the G string. Could also be played on the 8th fret of the other E string, because these two are the same. But long and short of it is, the more that you spend time understanding note relations, where they are on the neck, the more easy it will become for you to do little tricks like this. Now we're going to throw some gain into the mix and compare how it sounds against power chords. And just that little different voicing, and as you could tell, my hand position only moved. The chord shape itself remained the same. Compare that with a power chord, which is just the root and the fifth. You introduce the thirds, and then you stack them with the same exact thirds on top of it within the same chord, and that is the power of thirds. I've made video about that, how important it is to understand those. It really can make something that's relatively simple, because this is as simple as we're gonna get here as far as G, C, D, C. That's it. Most guitar players, no matter what your level is, you'll know what those are, and this is a cool way to be able to spice those up. But that's going to be where we're going to wrap up the mini exercise and lesson. I encourage you to do the same thing. Maybe pick out an entirely different progression and try and recreate that exact kind of voicing. But I want to talk about this record and why it means a lot to me and why to this day I still love it. The first time that I saw this band, I met this band, 2014. Seems like yesterday, but almost a lifetime ago in reality. Life was much different for me. Outside of the Casbah in San Diego, California, after a performance, I sat with the band and I talked to them for a little bit. One cool thing about this band is the guitar player, he uses a guitar that is so interesting. And at the time, somebody who knows Fender guitars inside and out like myself, I even said, what the hell is that? It was a Telecaster with a typical Telecaster body, Jazzmaster pickup in the neck, but Tele pickup in the bridge. The kicker to it, it had the Jazzmaster vibrato. I was like, whoa. Where can I buy one of these? I looked all over online. They did not exist at the time, and outside of the custom shop, they've never actually gone into full production. However, I digress. Less about the gear, more about the music. It's such a fun record, and I associate so much of it with California. It has that kind of vibe to it. There's a lot of reverby and basic kind of stuff going on with it, but it's really beachy. It's really soulful. It's not something that's so over the top or trying to be this high-end production. It's almost lo-fi in many senses, and I really do love that. When we moved to New York, this record was on all the time because my daughter loved Elena's voice, which is actually funny because my wife's name is Elena as well, just spelt a little bit differently. And it brings me back to happier days. And yeah, this is a record that I would highly recommend that you just listen to. Even if you're not a guitar player, you just want to listen to some cool, mellow music with an awesome band, cool chick singer, definitely recommend them. But that's all I have for you guys today. If there are any other things that you would like to go over in the future as far as licks, riffs, theory, lessons, ideas, exercises, I'm all open for it. I want to be doing more of this kind of stuff, and if I can also talk about albums that I love on top of it after the fact, oh, I am just in pig heaven at that point. So let me know in the comments down below. If you found this useful or helpful, also let me know. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. You know how it is being a YouTuber. Every single person's going to say that. It is what it is. But that's all for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the live stream Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll be just hanging out and talking like we do every single week. And don't forget to play your guitar today. Take it easy, everybody.